It's Thursday, December the 28th. I got my grandson here with me today. He's on Christmas break, and him and I got to go out a little bit today. But lake level's still about the same as it was last week. It's 907 and a half, hadn't changed very much at all. Water temperature hadn't changed too much, about 52 degrees. Depends where you're at. I put in at Shell Knob yesterday, it was 52. I put in at Ants Creek today, it was about 50. And yesterday, the further up the White River I went, up towards Eagle Rock, the colder the water got. It got down as low as 48, 47 degrees up Eagle Rock and a little bit, above there. But fishing, I think for the most part, fishing's still pretty tough. There's a lot of the deep fish I was catching on the gravel flats on the main lake seem like they've kind of disappeared on me, and mainly because a lot of the bait fish are gone. But we have relocated them. We got into some pretty good largemouths today in the center of the creeks over submerged timber. And when we're out there, Chance, what did you catch your good largemouth on today?
Swim bait and drop shot.
Yeah, this little swim bait here on a drop shot. And they were over the trees, about 35 to 40 feet deep. Another bait we was using to catch them on was just a 4-inch salt and pepper grub, and also we caught them on a smoke with black flake, little 4-inch grub. And I think just about any type of shad bait will work down there. We did drop a spoon quite a little bit today, but today it seemed like they wanted more of a drop shot bait, a little bit, more of a finesse, a little bit smaller bait and slower moving. But the spoons we've been throwing, either a 1/2 ounce or 3/4 ounce, and this is one that Dixie Jet makes here. He's got several different colors, but white seems to be my primary color. War Eagle, it's a War Eagle one here with a little chartreuse on it. This other one here is a Hazy Daisy. Now these fish in the creeks, we're having to search around quite a bit. We're having to idle down through the middle of the creeks, and today we didn't really find any big concentrations. It was one here and one there, but most of the ones we caught were largemouths and were 2.5, 2 3/4 pound fish. The Kentuckys had been catching out on the gravel flats. They're more in the 13 to 15 inch range, but like I say, there was the areas I was catching a ton of them. I got to work to get 1 or 2 bites now. It seemed like a lot of the bait fish left those areas. Now up in the White River yesterday, we caught some fish on a jerkbait, some on an Alabama rig, and there's still a little bit of a crankbait bite. This past weekend, in that, I guess it was Monday, when Randy Conlon had his tournament, I think we had a couple one on a crankbait, one on a jerkbait, a couple on a jig. And he's also going to have that tournament again this Monday. It'll be out of Schooner Creek. It's a $50 entry that covers big bass. I think he had 29 to 30 boats last weekend. Good little turnout. And I believe Terry Pierce also has her winter series out of Mill Creek this Saturday. But looks like the weather's going to turn bad probably next week. It's going to start getting real cold again. So it's a good time to get out there and do some deep fishing. And it's with the crankbait and jerkbait. Yesterday we didn't have any wind at all in the first part of the day, but if you could get any kind of breeze on the main lake and secondary point, we could catch some fish on a jerkbait. Now, it was a little cold out there this morning, wasn't it, Chance?
Mm-hmm.
You had your little heater deals inside your gloves, your
hand warmers.
Hand warmers, yeah. That actually it was 45 degrees out there, but when that wind's blowing 20 miles an hour, it sure enough chills it down. But like I say, the Alabama rig and the fish I caught yesterday up in the White River, there wasn't much size to them. And, I caught them up there on an Alabama rig and a jerkbait, mainly around cedar trees and submerged timber. And the jig bite I had this past weekend has been around docks, and their jig fish have been about 10 to 15 foot deep, but you got to fish it real slow. And I was fishing one of the new Bobby Albert jigs, just a green pumpkin with a little purple on it. with like a little critter craw for a trailer or a Strike King rage craw, and working it around the docks, just almost dead sticking it, working it really, really slow. And the water has really cleared up a bunch. You know, we haven't had hardly any rain, but the visibility down around Kimberly, I mean, it's 10, 12 feet. You can see the bottom. You can see all the little clams, and without, like I said earlier, without any wind, that crankbait and jerkbait bite can be pretty tough. Now today was just the opposite. We almost had a little too much wind. Kind of need a happy medium in there. So till next week, good luck, good fishing.